Hi, how are you? Hi, my dear friends and my students. I am here for you to discuss about any topic in IGCSE Physics O level. Okay. Today, I'm going to mainly focus on kinematics. In kinematics, we have a few formulas that is very important. Those formulas are speed and velocity is equal distance over time, displacement over time. And we have other formulas like equations of motion. You can find distance, initial speed, final speed, and you have the acceleration formula v minus u over t, final speed minus initial speed divided by time. So all those. And then we have dynamics, terminal velocity is important uh, topic, terminal velocity. You can ask any doubts on kinematics, any topics you have. And then we have the vector diagram. How to draw the vector diagram is very important for O level. One question will be there for the vector diagram, how to draw the vector diagram. In the vector diagram, you have to notice about two important things, that is the forces. Force 1 and force 2, you have to note it down first, take down and just write it. And second, check the angles in between the two forces, sometime displacement. So two quantities, two magnitudes, that means magnitude means numbers. So you have to note down the numbers, and then first step you have to scale it down. For example, our paper is A4 size, and space provided will be the half of the page, less than half of the page of A4 size. So what you have to do, you have to scale it down in the given small space, like half of the space, less than half. So your diagram may not be exceeded like more than 8 centimeter. So maximum 10 centimeter you can, but try to reduce within 8 centimeters, so your diagram would be you will get more accurate answer. As much you increase the size of your diagram, you will get more closer, more accurate value. If you scale down into very small in scale, like less than 5 centimeter, like 4 or 3 centimeter, so your answer will not be that accurate. So try to scale the values which is located in between 6 to 8 centimeter. For example, if the force is 10,000 and 20,000, if you use 5,000, how much it would be? 20,000 divided by 5,000 will be 4 centimeters. So your scale is less than 5 centimeter. So your diagram will be very small. So what you can do, instead of 5 centimeter, 5,000, you can take 2,500. So it would be 8 centimeter. For 20,000, it would be 8 centimeter, right? So your diagram will be bigger, and you will get more accurate value. And if you have any doubts, you can ask me. I have few time for you to discuss. And in the terminal velocity, they ask this question like, if a skydiver falls, what happens to his acceleration? Acceleration, as the speed increases, most of the students will go for the acceleration increases or constant acceleration. uh, if he falls for certain amount of time, first few seconds, like 50 seconds, 40 seconds, depends. Okay, there won't be any air resistance, so what happens, the acceleration is constant. What is the value of acceleration, they ask. If any object, dropped object, what is the acceleration value? There is no calculation, just you have to write the acceleration due to gravity, a g value, that is 10 meter per second square or 10 newton per kilogram. That is the acceleration value, because it is constant. That is the gravity of the earth is 9.8 or 10. Normally we Hi. Hi Ahmed, how are you Ahmed? How are you? So the acceleration due to gravity of earth is 9.8. So we'll write approximately 10 meter per second square. Another unit of meter per second square is Newton per kilogram. I'm good, Alhamdulillah. Very happy to see you again, Ahmad. Ah, okay. So, my dear students, here the important question is, when any object falls, they ask what is the acceleration. It is of course on the earth, so just you write the g value, 10 Newton per kilogram or meter per second square. Okay, and what happens after some time if there is air resistance? As the speed increases, what happened to the acceleration? You have to write the acceleration decreases, because the factor affecting factor of air resistance is the speed. Another is the surface area. Speed increases, there are 4 points. Okay, one is as the speed increases, air resistance increases, resultant force decreases, acceleration decreases. So here, before acceleration decreases, there are two hidden points. Those hidden points are air resistance and resultant force. Resultant force decreases. Why resultant force decreases? Because air resistance increases. Why air resistance increases? Because velocity of the skydiver increases, because gravity is pulling him down, so velocity increases. So speed in as the speed increases, what happens? The next step, air resistance increases. Then because of air resistance, it is the opposite direction of the downward force, right? That is the weight, opposite direction. So we will subtract weight and resistance. So what happens to the resultant force? Decreases. Okay, so what happened to the acceleration? Acceleration decreases, right? So it's very important concept. Speed increases, acceleration decreases. In between there are 2 points. Again, I'm telling what is there: air resistance and resultant force. And then what happens when the air resistance value is equal to the weight of the skydiver? Then what happens? The forces are getting balanced. Downward force, upward force are equal, right? So when both forces are equal in opposite direction, the forces are said to be balanced. During balanced force, when the object reaches the balanced force, it will be moving at a constant speed. That constant speed or the constant velocity is known as terminal velocity. Okay, so Ahmed, then tell me, how is everything? And then do you have any doubt in your topic? Hopefully you don't have any doubts, right? Okay, okay. Then here the terminal velocity we discussed. Then what happens? Terminal velocity. During the terminal velocity, what is the speed? What about the speed? The speed is constant. The constant speed, he is moving at a constant speed or a constant velocity. At this time, the skydiver, what he does, he opens his parachute. When he opens parachute, what happens? The surface area increases. Before, his area was his body. Now, the including his body, there is another one surface is acting, that is the surface area of the parachute. As the surface area increases, air resistance increases. Before I told one another factor, that is the speed, and second affecting factor of air resistance is surface area. As the surface area increases, what happens? Air resistance increases. That means upward force, right? Upward force increases. What happens to the resultant force? Decreases. Why resultant force decreases? Because if the forces are in opposite direction, what are the two forces that are acting at this time? Tell me, sorry. One is weight, that is the downward force. Another upward force is called air resistance. Since they are in opposite direction, we will subtract the values, so automatically the resultant force decreases. So this leads to the acceleration decreases. If the resultant force decreases, acceleration decreases because they are all directly proportional. Force increases, acceleration increases according to the Newton's second law. So what happened? Resultant force decreases here. What's the next? Acceleration decreases. So acceleration decreases to 0. So initially the acceleration value was 10. Then when he jumped out of the aircraft, what is the acceleration value, they ask. You have to say, since he is moving, he is falling freely, his acceleration is almost approximately 10 Newton per kilogram. Then what is the next step? It is the value, acceleration value reaches 0. Why acceleration reaches 0? Because speed increases, air resistance increases, resultant force decreases, acceleration decreases from 10 to 0. Once he becomes 0, it is called terminal velocity. At this terminal velocity, what is the value of acceleration? 0 meter per second square, right? Then he opens his parachute. Again, the same is happening, the same things. The 4 points I told. As the parachute opens, a surface area increases, air resistance increases, resultant force decreases, acceleration again decreases to 0, and again he is moving at a constant speed, is known as second terminal velocity. So terminal velocity is nothing but constant velocity, right? Then safely he will reach the ground comfortably because he is moving at a constant velocity, minimum constant velocity. It is because of the parachute. What if there is no parachute? If he doesn't open his parachute at the terminal velocity he reaches, what happens then? After some time, the air resistance, because your speed is reduced because of air resistance, then air resistance, simultaneously the value of air resistance decreases. Thank you, Imkan. Thank you so much for your supporting. Thank you. Then how are you? Hope you are doing great, right, Imkan? Yeah. And then please introduce some O-level students. Even the A-level also I will, yeah, doing good. Even future, inshallah, I will start. Once they start their school, I'm going to give A-level doubts also. I'll be clearing it out. Hopefully, inshallah. Okay, so here I'm here for the students to discuss about the kinematics, any topics, mostly today kinematics and dynamics, force, velocity, acceleration, all those, and then the circular motion, resultant force. Okay, thank you, thank you. Okay, regards, convey my regards to all your friends. Okay. Okay. Then. Inshallah, then tomorrow Saturday again I will come a little bit earlier, like half an hour early I can come. So now I got to go. Then see you later, and thanks for watching, for everyone, Ahmad and Imkan especially. Thank you very much. Bye.